January 16th, 1849. Son of a Pennsylvanian railroad tycoon, Reginald Miserman heard rumors of gold to be found out on the West Coast and decided to use his chunk of the family fortune to establish a gold panning operation, bringing in the cheapest labor he could find from as many different countries and territories as he could find, and starting things up in southern Oregon. The more different languages they speak, the harder it'll be for them to complain to each other about the work, Reginald must have thought. March 22nd, 1849. A woman named Garima Patel arrived at the Miserman gold panning operation to work. Educated by a British family in India and having read Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto, published only a year before, Garima was a committed revolutionary Marxist with the full intent to bring capital to its knees. Already knowing English, Hindi, Urdu, and Telugu, Garima found it not only easy, but invigorating to learn the languages of her fellows among the proletariat. Korean,
Mandarin,
Samoan,
Vietnamese,
Italian,
Japanese,
Cantonese,
Filipino,
Pig Latin,
Atlantean,
Morse code,
C++,
MATLAB,
Java.
She began to organize, holding large feasts with people of all cultures and traditions, recruiting more to the cause, who in turn would spread her message that through solidarity they could rise up and wrest control of the means of production from the corrupted, exploitative hands of misermen. May 29th, 1849, the Organized Panners movement took its first shot at misermen. In protest of their long, arduous hours and meager pay, Garima organized a one-week strike, demanding pay raises and reduced hours in which 420 of the 699 laborers participate. Miserman tried to get his guards and managers to torture and beat the laborers in response, but they feared the collective might of the laborers too much. After 3 days of nearly no gold, Miserman finally caved, reducing working hours and increasing pay at the operation. June 18th, 1849. Emboldened by the success of the strike, nearly all of the laborers had joined or were at least favorable to the OPM. Tomorrow was the day of the final revolt. Unfortunately for the OPM, a manager, Jean-Luc Beliveau, had infiltrated the movement weeks ago under the guise of a man named Dirt Johnson, and warned Miserman a week in advance that a revolt was coming. Secretly, Miserman recruited a band of militiamen to defend his control. Over the course of his time in the laborers' place, experiencing the fraternité of the feasts the laborers had despite their harsh conditions, Jean-Luc couldn't help but be enamored by the harmonious camaraderie of all these different people, despite their differences, thanks to the power of leftist organizing. He revealed a few days before the revolt that Miserman knew and had recruited militiamen, indicating the location of their secret barracks. That night, they ambushed the barracks, slaughtering the soldiers who would seek to the demise of their movement. June 19th, 1849. Just as the midnight hour struck, Jean-Luc himself busted into Miserman's office and knocked him to the ground cold with a single punch. The OPM had won. Not only did they take collective control over the gold panning operation, they established a new settlement on the spot in southern Oregon. In honor of their grand feasts with food from numerous cultures, Garima and Jean-Luc both suggested the same name for the new town, Cuisineville.